Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to tackle IELTS writing task 1, especially maps. So some students and candidates when they take IELTS exam find maps a bit tricky, but they don't have to be. And so before starting our lesson about discussing the maps, let's just first discuss about the types in IELTS writing task 1. Okay, what kind of tasks do you know in IELTS writing task 1?
Maps, process,
Maps,
comparative, line graph,
maps, process writings,
mixed,
yes.
comparative, changed.
Change. Students, when they take IELTS courses, just learn the types like line graph, bar chart, yes? A pie chart. So they're not the types, they are just how the information is presented to you. These are types, there are 5 types as you mentioned above. So the first one is maps, process, mixed one, comparative charts. So in comparative charts, you will not have any increases, just compare data. Okay, next one is the change charts. So as the name suggests itself, you have to work with trends. Yes, now this minute changes. You have to work with changes. As the name suggests itself, the data changes over time. Let's just look at this example. Okay. So the changes, yes. So the data for the lines for x and y are increasing. Okay, in terms of z, it is. The next one is comparative. Let's just look at comparative charts. Okay, what about this graph? So this is table, and when you look at the data, so you cannot say any decreases or increases. Let's just look at this example as the number of BMW and Audi cars in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Russia. So you're not given any specific time of periods, so you cannot write or describe like the increase or decrease. Yes, you can just compare BMW and Audi in Uzbekistan or Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan in terms of BMW, or in terms in Kazakhstan and Russia in terms of Audi cars. So that is the key difference here between these two charts, comparative charts and change. Let's just talk about the basic structure in terms of IELTS writing task 1. Okay, the first thing you have to do work is to write your introduction. So in your introduction, you have to paraphrase. So you'll be given a kind of descriptive sentence, and you have to paraphrase it. And second thing you have to write is your overview. Okay, in your overview, you have to mention Okay, in your overview, you have to state or mention about the general changes, yes, based on two maps. So we cannot write about main body, we have to write about report body. So you have to write two report bodies. So in your report bodies, you have to describe and compare the changes. Okay, this is the basic structure for maps. So as we talked about, so the first thing you have to write is your introduction, where you have to paraphrase the given statement. And the next one is overview, where you have to state the general changes without the minor details. And the next two things you have to is what to describe and compare changes into. Okay, when you write your introduction, you have to paraphrase, and when you paraphrase, you can use this sentence structure, like the two maps illustrate the transformation of. So you have to state the place here, like the two maps illustrate the transformation of Karagopag State University between, so you have to state the years, yes, 2 years, you'll be given 2 years, like the first map in past simple, and second map present, yes? Okay, overview. Okay, when you write your overviews, there are certain steps you have to follow. And the first one is you have to write is, you have to mention general conclusion, so here pay more attention to the word conclusion. So it's not the same conclusion as in the IELTS second part, task 2 essays. It's different conclusion. So you have, the first thing you have to is to write the general, to mention the general conclusion based on the changes on the map. When you write the general conclusion, there are several words that you can use, like the first one is modern. So when can we use this word? If there are new skyscrapers or new buildings. Like the town has become more modern with skyscrapers. Next one is residential. So when can we use this word? When there are new houses, yes. Okay, next word is recreational. Okay. What about this one? The town has become more recreational with a new brand with a brand new parks, museums, there's theaters, shopping malls. Yes. Okay, the next thing you have to write is okay, the next thing we have to write is why we came to that conclusion. So the thing was what to state the general conclusion based on the changes. And the next thing we have to write is why we came to that conclusion. Let's just look at this example. Okay, let's just look at this example again. So the town has become more recreational. This is our conclusion, general conclusion. Okay? Looking at two maps, we can conclude that the town has become more recreational. And the next part is explaining why we came to the conclusion. It's explaining. The second part is explaining why we came to the conclusion. So with a new shopping mall, museum, and park. The town has become more recreational with a new shopping mall, museum, and park. Next question. Next one. The town has become more accessible with the introduction of a new bridge and extended route. If there is a new bridge and the route is extended, so you can write this. Again, this is our general conclusion and explanation is with the introduction of new bridge and extended route. The next thing that you can mention in your overview is these are the next two things that you can state in your overview. So the first one is the changes regarding the location. Yes, some buildings might change their locations. And the next thing that things that remain an impact. The key to get higher grants in IELTS writing task one is not just learning about and being able to see the changes. You also have to learn key language to describe the changes. Sometimes things do not disappear, they just move their location. So in terms of location and position, you can use the following words, like verbs, And always you have to use passive voice form. So like was relocated, was shifted, was recited, and replacement. So you can use the verb itself was replaced by, made way for changing exchanging positions. You can use was swapped with. So there are brand new things, and also something was added newly. So you can use the words constructed or added, construction and added addition words. So like build and constructed, develop, establish, added. Also you can also use introduce this. Okay, sometimes the building or things on the map will completely disappear. So in terms of disappeared buildings, you can use those words like was demolished, knocked down, removed, cleared, made way. Okay, in terms of the extension of the size and reduction, you can use the following words: was extended, enlarged, expanded, reduced. Instead of using near or next to, there are certain adjectives that you have to use, and they will surely will elevate your writing band score. So instead of saying just near or next to, you can use adjacent, the same meaning. The hotel is adjacent to the beach. And next one is opposite. The library is opposite the new supermarket. So you can also use the words like the north, south, east, west of. The new development is to the north of the river. Northeast, southwestern part. The airport is located in the northeastern part of Ireland. So on border of, in the corner, alongside, beside, a cycle path was built alongside the railway line. In terms of an approach to write your report bodies, there are two approaches. So the first one is so some candidates just prefer to mix up the changes into maps. So the second one is just first map in the first report body. Okay. The candidates were just taking IELTS for the first time, just prepared to use the second approach. It's a bit more easier. Like the first map in the first paragraph, report body, you have to just to describe the first map in the first report body, and you have to describe the changes on the second map in your second report body. We'll now look at both of the approaches in examples. Maps below show the changes that have taken place in the town of Wesley since 1850. So we can see that there are some changes in the second map. So this is the first approach for mixing up. Let's just start from the introduction. So the two maps show the extent to which Wesley has changed over 2 centuries to become a modern and built-up town. So this is introduction. It's paraphrasing the given statement. Now we start with the first report body. There are 3 report bodies. It's up to you how many report bodies to write. It's better to write up to maximum 3 report bodies. Not just 4 report bodies. Let's just start with the first one. Firstly, it is clear that transport systems have changed dramatically. So this is topic sentence. It's very important to write and state your topic sentences. Some candidates think the topic sentences just can be written in IELTS writing task 1 essays, but in IELTS writing task 1 you have also to write topic sentences. You know what does it mean as topic sentences? The topic sentence tells what the whole paragraph is going to be about. So in the first in this paragraph, we're going to discuss about transport systems, the changes in transport systems. Let's just explain. So, for example, a new railway line has been built and now crosses the river instead of old road that links the town to London. Furthermore, the road has been extended through Wesley. So, this is the new railways, and also the road extended. The road has been extended through Wesley. They mentioned this road. Okay, next. Another noticeable change is the loss of green spaces in modern day Wesley. So the second paragraph is about the loss of green spaces. No explanation. The fields have been developed and are now the site of modern facilities like the train station and the cinema. Here in the first map you can see the lantern woods, the green spaces. Now they've gone, and instead of them there are what? There is train station and cinema. Yes, train station and cinema. Next one. Moreover, the lantern woods have been cut down so that the new lantern housing state could be lantern woods and the new housing state. So it's all about the loss of green spaces and the new buildings that have been built. Okay, next one. Finally, older buildings have been transformed into more modern facilities. This paragraph is about the transformation, the changes. For example, the church and the coach inn have been demolished in order for a new shopping center and sports canter to be built. Okay, older buildings, for example, church and the coach. Let's just look at here. Coach inn and church, yes? So, they are demolished here in the second page, the map. And a new shopping center, instead of the new shopping center. And what? Sports center that being built. Also, Wesley's house have been transformed into a pub and hotel. Okay, where? Yes, Lord Wesley's house, the red lion and a hotel like that. Okay, overall, we can see that the town of Wesley has been modernized a great deal, with many areas having undergone considerable urbanization. This is your overview. So in our basic structure, we learned that the overviews might come after the introduction, but there aren't any strict rules about where to write your overviews. You can also state at the end of your writing as well.